We are so glad that we to welcome you out here, Dr. Priyanka. You have secured an amazing rank of 121 in NEET Super Speciality. Many congratulations to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Out of the sweetness in your voice, how did that inner strength came out to go ahead with again a super specialty exam?
Ma'am, basically, we had our exams in October, the board exams, our MD exams. So I had prepared for that. And after that, based on that knowledge only, I just revised all the notes once more before going for INI and then for NEET. So basically, I hadn't had any plan from the beginning, but since I just had given my board exams and it was all fresh, so I just revised it again and just sat in the exam. And the notes were so concise that I didn't have to watch the videos even twice. And there were so many revision videos that I didn't have to go through the main content another time. I just chose the revision videos and then the notes, ma'am. So
Amazing.
basically,
So that means your preparation was very strong already, and you did not do any special preparation to get into super specialty.
yes, ma'am. Apart from all the notes and theory, there were Radiopedia quiz questions that I actually did. Like I did around 50 to 60 questions every day, and they were available on Radiopedia only. And apart from that, the notes were sufficient. In the exam also, I felt that whatever question they were asking, most of them have been highlighted already by our teachers. So that was a huge help, ma'am.
Okay. So which college are you from? How about your college?
Ma'am, I did my MD from PTJNM Medical College, Raipur. And there we had postings in X-ray, special X-ray, then mammography unit and USG. So and CT, MRI. Apart from that, we had 6 months of DSA postings. So it was a very hectic schedule for us. So during those 3 years, uh, the reporting on day-to-day basis actually helped in that the cases that the cases that came in the exam, both in INI and in NEET also, they were mostly based on our day-to-day reporting also. So along with that, whatever we used to report, we used to go and we used to study together as a group. There were 12 of us. So I had a friend called Sakshi, and we both actually, whenever we came back to the hostel, we used to revise whatever cases we had seen
Okay.
in CT or MR, and that actually helped, man.
Okay. So is Sakshi with you? You're smiling a lot.
She just went to her duty, ma'am. She
Okay.
was here with me.
She also gave the exam.
No, ma'am, she didn't.
She did not give the exam. Okay. How did you approach your residency? So, I believe your hospital was hectic, as you tell. Was it a JR driven
Yes.
or an SR driven system in your hospital?
Ma'am, it was a completely JR driven system.
Okay.
We did not have any SRs. Apart from the PG, we had in total 36 residents, so 12 in each batch. And after that, there were assistant professors and other consultants that we consulted whenever we had doubt. But it was mostly a JR-driven system. So from first year only, we were taking histories of patients, and then we were going to see the scans. So my day-to-day residency was very hectic. But the cases that I saw in the department, I tried to come back and learn about those. And when I got into second year, eConceptual got started, and that was a huge help because it got so easy for us to come back and study about the cases and everything and how to approach. The best part was teachers taught us how to approach. Suppose we find a lesion and how to go about it, how to approach it. So that made my residency quite easy, ma'am.
So, how would you say what is the best way to use conceptual radiology videos? Since there are a lot of videos right now, so what is the best way to use the system to learn?
Ma'am, in my view, the posting that we are getting, for example, if I am posted in ANC, then the best way to go about it is first we have to learn about the approach, like how do we approach a IUGR case or how do we approach an anomaly scan. There are lots of videos now in eConceptual regarding that. So after that, and after doing that scan, suppose we come across the first thing is to differentiate between something that is normal and abnormal. And once we get to know that we have found something abnormal, then to go back and read about it. So that becomes very that actually stays in the mind for a long term, man, rather than cramming it up.
So, how about the revision? Did you use the notes to revise the conceptual radiology notes? Did you make your own notes or maybe the standard books? How did you do it?
Ma'am, basically, when I first saw the main content, the videos, I used to go back and I used to highlight the points in MAMC, AIMS MAMC PGI. And when I was going through my second revision, along with those highlighted points, I went through only the e-conceptual notes. I did not watch the videos twice. So basically, 3 to 4 months before my final exams were there, I was uh, I was revising e-conceptual notes and only my highlighted points. So doing that over and over again actually helped. It helped in my theory exams, it helped in my Viva, and it also helped in NEET because they was the same topics that were getting repeated.
Right.
Uh,
So, not omitting the important topics and significantly revising them is something that will help you score better, right?
yes, ma'am. Actually, going through the notes over and over again, so it leaves a mark.
So, how many
Mm.
times did you go over and over again?
Ma'am, the main topics, the topics such as bone tumors, or the main topics which are asked again and again in Viva, I at least went through them like 7 to 8 times, the notes. And apart from that, the topics which I thought were a little bit less important, those topics, minimum 3 to 4 times. Basically, ma'am, I went through the notes over and over again. But the last 3 4 months was spent only going through the notes, ma'am.
So, how did you find the NEET super specialty questions to be like? Were they tough? Were they easy? A mixed bag?
Ma'am, they were a mixed bag. There were some questions that I had not expected would come in exam, were from questions from PSM.
Right.
So they had asked about sample size, they had asked about sensitivity, specificity. Those questions actually there were around 8 to 10 questions in the first sections regarding PSM. So, since I had done my thesis work and I had done all the statistics regarding that, it helped me solve those questions. So, basically, it was a mixed bag, ma'am. There were 3 sections, and in each section, there were 50 questions. So, once a section ended, we could not go back to the previous section. So, basically, in the first, they were mixed bag, ma'am. Some questions, a lot of questions were from MSK, infection,
Right.
a lot of questions were from neuro diagnostic imaging, and I felt that 50% of the questions were image based and 50% were factual based. So, and in the second section, there were questions from breast, there were questions from fetal medicine, and if from physics also some questions were there, ma'am. But all those points, they had been highlighted. I remember seeing the questions, and then I remember finding the options very confusing. And then I remember that some teacher in some video or the other has highlighted that very point, that this has to be this if it comes in your exam. And it actually came. And I felt nostalgic at that point when I was giving my exam.
Right. Right. So, what are your now the plans about? Like, are you looking for the? I mean, have you filled up the branch already, or the counseling is going on? What is the next thing that is coming
Uh,
up?
Ma'am, counseling hasn't started yet. I'm still looking for colleges and on in what colleges, what spectrum of IR. I actually wanted to get into IR from my very first year of residency.
Okay.
And there were vascular interventions going on in our department that we have observed. And I kind of wanted that in future. So now I'm just enlisting colleges in which college, which spectrum of IR is being given priority, so that it would help me choose finally.
So, the DSA posting actually helped you. Is that the DSA part which has driven you towards opting for the IR?
I mean, the DSA posting, we managed, matlab in our college, it happened that the radiology residents would manage the pre-op and post-op patients. They were admitted under the radiology department. So, uh, beginning from taking history of the patient and then admitting and then helping, assisting in doing the procedure, and then their post-op, even neurointervention patients, their post-op management were also done by us. So that actually helped me in INI more.
Okay.
That had questions from neuro. It had questions on management of patients. Apart from that, ma'am, DSA postings actually helped because we actually experienced what kind of life it would be
Yeah,
in IR. So that was a very good exposure
yeah.
in those postings, ma'am, in those 6 months.
Of now for the learning curve of the IER and again going through the rigorous 3 years training and then practicing ahead. So you have made up all of your mind, right?
Yes, ma'am. I was from the starting only. I was into IR. When I got into radiology, I wanted to do some kind of intervention further.
Very.
So
So that clarity has helped you to move ahead, right? And that is
y-
maybe you are not opting for a subspecialty, but rather you are opting for a super specialty, right?
right, right, ma'am.
So it's not neuro IR, it's IR that you're
It's
looking
IR in general, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Basically, being on the team that manages the patient.
right.
So that I actually wanted to do from first year only.
Right. So, any tips for the residents who are actually choosing a radiology or who have taken a radiology or are in the first year?
Ma'am, I would say that radiology, as a branch, it's a very good branch to get into. I don't think other people who get into other branches might have some kind of confusion that why didn't I get into this? Why didn't I have never felt that in this branch? It really has connection with all other branches. Like we get on the same day, we get patients from obstetrics, we get patient from pediatrics, we get patient from orthopedics, from neurology, from every department. And all we have to do is actually learn about their history and what the patient is saying, what the complaints are, and then going through the scan and then making a diagnosis that actually helps the patient and his or her management. That actually feels very noble to do, and that kind of work, providing diagnosis to a patient who has some kind of complaint, that is actually a very good job. Radiology,
Right.
whoever has chosen radiology has chosen it, ma'am. So basically,
I always
as
say
a branch,
radiology has chosen you and you have not chosen radiology.
right, right, ma'am. So basically, as a branch, as far as my experience has been, for the first years, it might be a little bit tough because they are almost always posted in almost every college. They are posted in X-ray and barium studies, and they might
Emergency ultrasounds.
emergency ultrasound, and they might find it a little bit tough to just get started on it. But once I got the hold of it, then there is no other branch that could be as good as this branch, ma'am.
So nobody should have any confusion now. And one of the very good rank scorers and somebody who has worked so hard. So no doubts about radiology, है ना? And I'm sure no doubts about AI in radiology, right?
No doubts about AI, ma'am. It's there to supplement. It will anyways be there.
Yeah.
So
So this question keeps on cropping. Will AI replace? Of course, it cannot replace radiologists. How can it replace somebody with a human mind, right?
right, right, ma'am.
So it was amazing talking to you, Dr. Priyanka, and we are so happy that you secured such an amazing rank. You're so sweet, and still you're going for a difficult one, a difficult super specialty, I would say. So all the best to you,
Thank you, ma'am.
and stay
Thank you
connected
so
with
much.